welcome to my first ever video. It's great to have you here. I'm Emily, otherwise known as Emphatic here on YouTube. I thought I'd start off with a little bit about me. I'm from New Zealand. I've worked in marketing for the last few years, and I recently just came back from the UK where I was hoping to do a lot of travel, but COVID cut that very, very short. I'm hoping to start traveling again soon, but I hope you'll enjoy this journey with me in the meantime. I've been playing The Sims since, to quote Plumbella, the year 2000. I was actually probably a little bit slower, maybe like 2002 or 3. But I've always loved The Sims, and I consider myself much more of a gameplay person than a builder, but I'd love to increase my building skills, so here we are, starting off with a build. So this is, as you can probably tell from the video title, a bakery. And what I'm aiming for here is a really old style, high-walled building. So you'll see it's currently split into two. There's going to be the bakery on the left and a retail store on the right, which will stay empty probably for a very long time. I add a second floor, which eventually will be some flats as well, but it's just all to give the building some height and some width and to make it not look so silly, because the size of the bakery is actually really small. It's based on a bakery I used to go to a lot. It was right on the corner of where I lived in Auckland, and it was just the sweetest little thing. They had the staff in really old school uniforms. They had the little train caps and aprons and old linen shirts. It was such a vibe. So you see here I've put in the windows and the doors, and I'm just putting these adorable little planter boxes on the upstairs window, which I just think are adorable, and I think they're my favourite feature in this build. It's quite small, only really suitable for takeaway. And yeah, it's going to be nice and bright, big windows, but hopefully give a bit of an old world feel. Really struggled to find the tile for the ceiling. They're all kind of too pink or too orange or too bright or too grey and too dull. I wanted a little bit of contrast, but there wasn't really anything that struck me as being the right one, so I think I actually end up with this one, and it's just like a total this'll do situation. Inside, I'm starting to rearrange the windows and looking at layout. I obviously wanted to split the building on the bottom floor into two, the bakery and a retail store, but I thought also it would be great to have public toilets for people coming to shop. So you can see I'm putting them in here. And I did actually try to do 4 toilets in that back block, but it was just ridiculous. There's no way they would have been able to get past the sink, so I left it at that. So I'm making this bakery for my first Let's Play. She's going to be a sim with a hobby of baking, and she's really loved it. It's always been a passion. And she has, of course, the dream to open her own bakery one day. In terms of the gameplay itself, I don't actually have a lot of plans. I usually, start thinking about the sim is this, and they would suit a partner that's like this, and this is the trajectory their life's going to go. These are the twists and turns, but this Let's Play isn't going to be like that at all. It's going to be very, let's see how it goes. Like, I don't know what her sexuality is, what kind of sim she likes, if she's going to get married, have kids or not, which is a nice change for me, and hopefully you guys enjoy being on the journey too. Of course, you're more than welcome to put as much in as you can to dictate the storyline. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. So you see here I've put in the windows and the doors. As you can see, I also didn't take the roof off immediately from when I added a fence in, and it didn't auto roof, but I did go back and close that. It was, delete that. It was really, really silly, but it was just not my focus at the time. I did see it, and I was just like, I'll come back to this. Not now. There's too much to do. Unfortunately, And you may notice if you're looking hard enough, I missed quite a few things out of this build. Columns are a really great example, so I do add them in before I start playing, which I haven't even started playing yet. I just opened up the build and was like, oh, I can't believe I missed these. And yeah, if you want to add in the comments anything else you think I've missed, because you're probably going to notice a lot more than I would, especially if you're more building inclined. I start working on the kitchen now as well, and the whole idea with the kitchen is I wanted the front to be as lovely and as sunshiny and welcoming and warm as possible, whereas the kitchen was just a bit of a rush job by the previous owners. It needed, well, they kind of ran out of money, I guess, so they needed something in there quick and easy, and this is what was chosen, I guess. So it's been a little bit mistreated. It wasn't great to begin with, and it's only gotten worse with time. So it's not unclean or unhygienic, it's just old. So I know that's something else Sim is going to want to update in gameplay, but for now it's a really great price point for her to be able to buy the bakery itself, which is probably for the best. There is a phase here as well where I go through and I've like finished the bakery, but then I start kind of going through and deleting stuff because we got to about 36,000 simoleons, and I thought that was a lot to try and save, especially in one generation. I think if we were doing a legacy, which we could, it's not off the board yet, then there'd be that time and that ability to save. But yeah, so I kind of tried to minimize it as much as possible while still being very much the bakery that I wanted it to be for The Sim. Yeah, my next build, because I fancy myself a builder now, the next build is a modern style starter home for her, and I have already moved her in and she had 5 simoleons left over, so cutting it pretty fine. Almost a rags to riches, except she's already got a nice home, so it's not that big a deal. I also added in actually a cafe area, the cafe thing from Get Together. I thought it'd be really cool to have in a bakery. I know a lot of the bakeries I go to tend to have coffee machines so you can get your takeaway coffee with your croissant. And yeah, I was really excited by that. In terms of gameplay, I don't think it's going to be that straightforward. I think we're definitely going to have to either hire a barista or maybe figure out how to work as a barista ourselves within the bakery with everything else going on. I'm not sure, but I thought it was a nice touch. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I put a lot of decorations in that I ended up removing as well, again just for a cost saving point of view. And yeah, there's a sign here for sales to get more people in the door, as I'm not sure if you know Get to Work very well, but there are signs that help encourage more people to come in. Yeah, that's almost pretty much it. This lot is in Newcrest, which I haven't put it on that strip that I think a lot of people tend to put their builds on. I focused on that kind of bottom left where there are a few different size lots. I think eventually throughout gameplay and maybe even other Let's Plays. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this build. Let me know what you think I could have done better or could have done worse. We love a compliment over here. And yeah, we'll get cracking on using this bakery as soon as possible. There are currently no stairs to go upstairs into the apartments, so that's going to be an interesting thing to do. But yeah, it is what it is. So at this point, I've put everything I kind of want to put into this build in it. And I'm just kind of cutting away the fat and getting it down to what I would consider a reasonable price to buy. So let's end this here and get straight into the tour. So here we are coming in the front door. The first thing you see is some wonderful baked goods. our extra cabinets, which do end up going. We've got our cash register for where people can purchase their goods. Here we have the first public bathroom. They both look identical, so you're not missing out not seeing the other one. Here we go towards the back of the kitchen. Got our cupcake machine, and we've got all our benches and a stove for anything that we need to bake. And here we have the outside. So obviously a lot of work to do here, but we've got a rubbish bin, so perfect.